BTD6 is a game where primates are aggressive towards inflated individuals called Bloons. If you ever call one of them something stupid like a balloon, me and my associates will be forced to take action. To prevent any unfortunate occurrences, I will be guiding you through how to properly play BTD6, and also the subscribe now. If you are one of my average viewers, you might be saying, Komoda, this isn't the kind of content you make. You're supposed to make shitty gaming videos that I don't watch, and even shittier gaming videos that I do watch. Astute observation. However, consider that I do not care. If that isn't enough, also consider my associate. When you first open BTD6, you are forced into a tutorial. This is a bad thing, because the game tries to trick you into thinking that Quincy is good. Go through the tutorial as fast as possible, preferably with your eyes closed and game audio muted. Before we actually start playing, it is important to know our opponents, much like many other games. For example, your opponents in Minecraft are easily dispatchable monsters, or Mojang if you play Bedrock. In Fortnite, your opponents are children. In Roblox, your opponents are children and pedophiles. In Bloons Tower Defense 6, your opponents are Bloons. If you needed me to tell you that, then you are precisely the audience this video needs. While you could, of course, learn through trial and error, that is how beta male soy boys play video games. Real Sigma male victory pilled chads never play a game until they know literally everything about the game and have removed all possibility of fun from doing so. Since you are watching my content, I assume that you are a beta male, but this guide will turn you into a 6'6" hairy hunk of a man that is the average Bloons player. Before we get into the specifics, here's a quick overview of how BTD6 gameplay works for context. Map: Bloon come here. Bloon follow path. Bloon leave here. Bloon leave bad. Player have health. Bloon leave. Take health depend on strength. Monkey stop Bloon. Player win. Player get laid. The Bloons come in many flavors, such as strawberry, banana, lead, and cyanide, but we'll start with the weakest and work our way up. The weakest Bloon, the red Bloon, has 1 health and speed. If you need me to explain what health and speed is, then you are precisely the audience this video needs. Different colors of Bloon have more health and speed, and when popped, turn into lower tier Bloons. The wiki says that these are parents and children, which implies that popping a balloon makes it give birth, meaning that all Bloons are pregnant and may or may not die during childbirth. Bloons change color as they age, meaning that they are transracial, and that the Bloon army employs child soldiers. Some Bloons also have special attributes that make them more fearsome on the battlefield. Black and white Bloons are immune to explosions and freezing respectively, which means that they counter barely any monkeys and are basically useless. The purple Bloon is immune to energy, fire, and plasma, the wiki says, which is a whole lot of words to just say magic or non-physical. The lead Bloon is entirely made of metal, which means that it literally bends physics to its will, because how the fuck is a Bloon made of metal floating? It's immune to sharp attacks. The existence of rainbow Bloons imply that the Bloons support LGBTQ individuals, and also that being gay makes you twice as strong as metal, but only half as strong as clay. There are also 3 extra traits that all normal Bloons can have, and they can even have them all at once. Fortified Bloons have extra health. Regrow Bloons allegedly regenerate health, but it might just be a placebo because they never actually do anything. Finally, Bloons can be camo. Most monkeys are actually blind and can only see things that are a solid color. This means that if a Bloon is biracial, it doesn't actually exist, suggesting that most monkeys are actually racist and hate race mixing so much that their eyes literally evolved so that they wouldn't have to see anyone that is multiracial. Thankfully, some monkeys are actually progressive enough to see multiracial Bloons. Finally, the biggest and baddest Bloons of the Moab class. All but one of these are simply high health enemies, obviously starting out with the Moab itself, otherwise known as the massive ornery anal bump. After that is the brutal fucking butt ripper, the zest of mighty gargantuanness, and the big ass dildo. While the bad is pretty much the final boss of normal BTD6 gameplay, the real strongest enemy is the devilish Diddy truck, which is extremely fast, immune to multiple types of damage, and multiracial. Now that we know our enemies, we are almost ready to play the game. To start out, let's pick our hero. Heroes are monkeys of the highest rank, important enough that they have earned names and individuality. In gameplay, they can be placed only once per player and level up over time time to get stronger. BTD6 has 17 heroes, which is a scarily large number because I can only count on my hands, and I don't have 17 fingers. But don't worry, picking your hero is much simpler than you'd think, because there aren't actually 17 heroes. BTD6 has 2 heroes and 15 schizophrenic hallucinations. Now that we have a countable number of heroes to pick from, how do we actually decide? I've made a handy flowchart here to help. Are you playing a boss event? If yes, pick Benjamin. If no, pick Sada. Now that we know which hero to use and what they do, let's get into the game. There are 4 categories of monkey: primary, military, magic, and support. These categories all mean nothing, except for support, because only a few support monkeys are entirely focused on damage. As for the categories themselves, they kinda only exist for limited game modes and to split up monkey knowledge, which is just a permanent upgrade currency type thing, because the categories themselves don't make a lot of sense. For example, the magic category has the Druid monkey, which uses elements such as wind, electricity, nature, and the wrath of a chimpanzee on hard drugs. Meanwhile, we have the ice monkey, whose entire shtick revolves around the manipulation of ice and frigid temperatures. The ice monkey is in the primary category. Primary category also has 2 monkeys that are not monkeys, and could also fit pretty easily in the military category. Anyway, each monkey, or tower, as some will say because they don't value the lives of their troops and think of them as mere objects for personal gain, has 3 paths with 5 upgrades each. Each monkey can go up to 5 upgrades or tiers in one path and up to 2 in a secondary path, referred to as a cross path. If you are worried about what cross path to pick for your monkey, it's quite simple. If it isn't obvious, then it is useless and does not matter. Be aware that you can take as many monkeys as you can fit on the map, but aside from a very specific instance, you can only have 1 tier 5 in each path at once. Each monkey usually has 1 path that is more used than the rest, sometimes 2, with only a few monkeys having all 3 paths be widely used. Now is a good time to start an example run. I'll pick the most famous Bloons map and I'll play on hard. The base level difficulties just control how much health you start with, the speed of the Bloons, the price of your monkeys, and most obviously the amount of rounds. When you first start out in BTD6, you won't have every monkey unlocked, and you'll have to use them to unlock their upgrade paths. That is not my problem. Real Sigmas don't accommodate for those who have less than them. When you start your game, it is good to know that each round will always be the same, unless changed by unique rules or game modes. Because the rounds are always the same, you can memorize certain rounds to know when the first camo or lead balloons come out. However, that is nerd shit. Real Sigmas can't remember anything except the ex that broke their heart back in middle school. You were never actually dating and she didn't even know you existed. To start off, I place my hero, Sada. Sada is a very progressive monkey, and as such is able to see and pop multiracial balloons without any investment necessary. Even better, her starting ability is able to pop lead balloons, meaning that she removes all that nerd shit about memorizing when dangerous balloons come out. Sada is also the reason Bloons is W-Goons. Then, I begin investing in illegal horse-based acid and raising the dead. Then I eco. Then I win. Now, you basically know how to beat every map on every mode. As for the so-called hardest mode, chimps, my advice is as follows. Google a strategy and copy it shamelessly. Then, for the actual hardest mode, half cash, you can either Google strategies to alleviate some of the suicidal tendencies that are ingrained in this mode, or you can pay roughly 314 pesos to buy double cash, essentially functioning as fast-working antidepressants for half cash and crack cocaine for every other mode. There's one more mode that is worth mentioning, but first, I'll quickly go over each monkey to make sure you have as many options and as much knowledge as possible. Dart Monkey is viable besides Middle Path. Boomerang Monkey is basically Dart Monkey 2, so he's probably better, but I don't know because I never use him. Bomb Shooter's paths all seem to be good, but it doesn't matter because the only thing that Bomb Shooter is used for is proving that quality over quantity is actually a lie spread by big moderation to make people think that less is more. Tax Shooter is the best tower in the game, and if you disagree, you are wrong and your parents don't love you. Ice Monkey exists for one achievement. Glue Gunner Top Path is awesome, and more people need to use it. Middle Path gives a little more damage to all your monkeys, but that's less important. Desperado isn't real. Sniper Monkey only exists to be 205 for tier 1 boss events. and I love him for it. Monkey Sub is really good, I think, but I cannot be asked to use him for anything other than camo detection. Monkey Buccaneer is almost as good as the tack shooter, with bottom path being amazing for eco and top path being amazing for damage. Middle path exists only to make the Paragon insanely broken. Monkey Ace exists to make your bitrate suffer as much as possible. It's pretty good, I guess. Heli Pilot exists for a miserable achievement like the Ice Monkey, but at least Heli? Bro, you're stupid. Heli Pilot exists for a miserable achievement like the Ice Monkey, but at least Heli Pilot has Apache Prime, so it's kinda forgiven. Mortar Monkey is probably the least used tower of all time, and it also only exists for an achievement. Dartling Gunner exists for when Elite Defender can't carry you through early boss tiers. Wizard Monkey is really good, but that could be wrong because the only path I use consistently is Necromancer. Super Monkey exists to make you sink the economic output of a small country into it to create an evil deity god thing, so it's pretty good. Ninja Monkey is good, and one of the few monkeys that can see camo innately, meaning that ninja monkeys are progressive, or actually secret double agent Bloons in disguise. Alchemist exists solely to buff other monkeys and is somehow not in the support category. If you bring up bottom path, that could easily still work as a support monkey, and while you wouldn't be wrong to bring up middle path, my counter arguments are that the beast handler exists, and also that no one uses it anyway. Druid is great, and probably one of the best early game monkeys hands down. Mermonkey also isn't real. Banana Farm might be even better than the tack shooter, but unfortunately, I never know what the optimal way to farm bananas for the most income is because it constantly changes, so I just spam down BRFs like God intended. Spike Factory is entirely damage focused, but somehow still fits in the support category. Unfortunately, the other damage focused support monkeys don't follow this formula. It also exists to molest your bitrate. Monkey Village buffs all your monkeys in various significant ways. Engineer Monkey Overclock is a really good buff, but unfortunately, the rest of the upgrades are useless and you won't convince me otherwise. Beast Handler is not support even a little bit, but it also isn't damage because its damage fucking sucks. Now that you know what every monkey does inside and out, including which ones are worth using and not, there's only one more important mode that I mentioned earlier. Boss events, if you couldn't tell, have a boss, which is a large balloon with certain gimmicks depending on which boss it is. This boss has 5 tiers that each have more health than the last and come out on certain rounds. Basically, your goal is to get as much money as possible before the boss spawns. Use as little as you need to defeat the tier in a reasonable amount of time, and then super optimal nerds will probably sell their defense and reinvest it back into farms. Rinse and repeat until you beat the tier 5, and then decide if you want to attempt the hard mode elite boss, which is the same thing, but stronger. Instead of going into a boss by myself like a friendless loser to get an example run for the video, I gathered 2 of my friends to hop on and share their advice with you all as we play. My autistically artistic friend who has roughly 7,000 hours and diamond bordered every map, and my artistically autistic friend who has never played a Bloons game before. Is there a way I can find Quincy lore? I want to confirm he's a pedophile.
I don't know that the heroes have lore.
They have some, but I mean, all I know about Quincy is that he's probably a pedophile. What the fuck is this personality section? He has an American accent and also seems to have a crush on Gwendolyn, judging on a Valentine's post from Ninja Kiwi. His ethnicity is not confirmed officially. Who cares about his ethnicity, bro? He's a fucking monkey.
Yeah, he's a monkey, bro.
What are you talking about? Bloons monkey game. Are they not all monkey? Gwendolyn is a pyromaniac. She is very enthusiastic about fire to the extent that she always communicates about fire in her vocabulary and actions. She is very tomboyish as she has a sports showcase in BTD6 and has a masculine appearance to the point where people mistake her for a male. Those people might be dumb.
What are we talking about?
A lot of her personality originates from a pun on hot. She is prone to short temper, making her hot-headed. She is also a little flirty as shown by her kissing taunt from BTD Battles 2.
These people who are writing this are deranged.
This is the official Bloons wiki, by the way. She adores eating spicy foods. She is not vegetarian, as shown by her animation of eating a flame-cooked drumstick. Is that information we needed to know? Her voice is energetic, but simultaneously a bit goofy. When she was younger, her voice was higher and more like a girl. Who the fuck wrote this?
Low-key bombed there.
What do you mean
house.
goofy? She
Like,
sounds like a
what?
chain smoker. Great, and then we have the other information thing where it says Gwendolyn's true ethnicity is unknown and has so far not been hinted by Ninja Kiwi.
Oh God.
Her nationality is speculated to
one
be
cares.
Mexican or Texan American because of her affinity towards spicy foods and barbecuing. Yeah, that's a whole fucking
That's-
range, bro. That's a big range. So they didn't confirm she's a child. Maybe instead of being a pedophile, Quincy's just a groomer. So those typically
You
go
can
together.
still be a predator.
Yeah. Did I set a like goal on this video to buy double cash?
You're so right.
I love that every time someone plays Bloons for the first time, this is always what it looks like. Hear me out. Root of all nature. The paths are covered in vines, and Gojo steps on them and he gets a tummy ache.
Yeah, he gets a tummy ache from the yogurt he ate earlier.
Yeah, and then he puts Infinity down, and the sniper on Strong gets his ass.
Even though Gojo naturally has infinity.
No, well, because he had his stomach ache, so he put it down a little bit because he was too busy.
Okay, no, this is how you kill Gojo. Just shoot him. Actually, no, that wouldn't work. I was gonna say you could shoot him in the shower, but no, his infinity filters.
Yeah, you be having sex with Infinity on, bro. So you just have to chop off his dick while he's having sex. I hope he bleeds out.
Well, no, because he can filter his infinity by sharp objects.
This dude has a Minecraft
Chemical
sorter as his
composition.
goddamn shield.
Yeah.
Dude actually has a code base. If this, don't. This
Yeah,
guy's
he
cheating.
does. At one point he says, I'm trying to make my infinity filter out poisons too. Like, bro, you're doing too much.
He's not doing enough, because why didn't he filter out things that can cut through reality?
That's true.
Wait, if he could
Why
he
didn't
not have
he-
filtered out the cutting slash or whatever the fuck it's called?
It splits. I just like to say, Suku's technique is supposed to be kitchen related.
Why the fuck is
Yeah,
it
he
kitchen?
can cut through space.
Oh yeah, because he's a cannibal. Is that why?
Oh,
They made a
like,
cannibal
no.
character and they gave this guy a frying pan as a technique.
Yeah, his technique sometimes is called malevolent shrine, sometimes called malevolent kitchen.
Calling it the kitchen is hilarious because that's like JoJo's making a cannibal character and then his stand is Gordon Ramsay. Advice number 1 to anyone playing a boss event, use cash drops. Advice number 2, never be like Henry. Always put your snipers next to the free jungle drums.
Advice 4.
I think this is 3.
I don't care.
Okay. Alright, bitch. Rule number 4. Sticky bomb is a tier 4 tower. Advice number 5. If Owen offers you candy, don't take it. Advice number 6. Henry's an idiot. Advice number 7. Don't play co-op in this game. Advice 8. Don't have friends. Rule number 9. I don't know what we're on. Always use banana farmers.
Rule 10. Use Super Monkey Storm. It's really good.
Rule 11. Spend money on things that are likely inefficient for pure aura.
Rule 20, spam orders.
Rule 15. If you're unoptimal, you deserve death.
Rule 16. He doesn't know this is an insta-monkey.
Rule 19. Always use instant monkeys. Never keep them. Rule 22. Don't be like Ricky. Rule 23.
I would give you
Help the
money, but
homeless.
my-
Rule 24. Don't help the homeless if you're giving them too much. If you're being too generous, that's a bad thing. Because they gotta learn to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. That's why they're homeless, of course. Rule 27. Ninja Kiwi servers suck ass.
Rule 28. Use Geraldo to micro to get $100,000 by round 40.
Rule 29. If you use Geraldo, you're doing too much.
Rule like 30 or something. Win the game.
Rule 31. If you don't win at first, use monkey money. If you don't have monkey money, rule 32 is to give all your money to Ninja Kiwi. Rule 33, click that subscribe button.